again, so does feel like it's a bit of an uphill battle for VP this time around.
Let's find out. Let's find out if VP is going to have the same difficulty that they did in Game 1, where Vici Gaming for pretty much the mid-game onwards took full control, grew an incredible lead, and VP weren't able to turn it around. This time, it's going to be Vici attempting to run over VP, and VP very much going to do their best to get some sort of game going for this big old Medusa.
And let's see how Puck does. I've not seen Puck do too well, honestly, in these last few times. He's gotten hit by so many nerfs.
Yep.
It doesn't look that easy either. Into a Dragon Knight, into the Clockwork, into the Drow Silence. Lots of different things that could trip up GPK. And he has to be the one to go. That's the problem, is in this game, GPK on the puck has to be the one to go in and start the fights in almost every situation. Because if DM goes first, it's just going to be the hook shot, follow up, easy things. It has to be a pretty good distraction plays that come out from GPK. And
so
right early on here, we do have some tips. Instant Observer Ward gets taken away too.
But you just feel that GPK, if he's the one going in, it's not like Vici Gaming don't have numerous ways to catch him when he's the first in the fight, right? There's a lot of things going to be tripping up that puck if GPK is the one to start off the action.
And they do have bodies. That's the difference. Is Drow Ranger in this game has 3 different heroes. Even Snapfire is not bad. It's 4 strength heroes that can just body up, tank up for that Drow to have a good positioning. They also have their own built-in repositioning tool, of course, from the cookie, where a lot of times you would want to last like a 4-staff or something to make sure that your Drow can be in a good spot. They have that built in, so does feel very strong right now for the side of Vici. However, do have to give the positives and everything from VP, where they do have big initiation, and if they do jump, they pop global. They have a couple seconds to just clear out and win the fight, but it's got to be that. It's got to be exactly that. They need to crush the fight, just like BSJ was saying, in the first few seconds of it.
So let's have a look at these lanes. As you say, mid lane, DK. Vici Gaming going to be very happy getting that in response to the puck. Ori should feel right at home in the matchup here and not suffer really at all against the harassment from GPK. Have a pretty good job of being able to contest the CS here as the melee hero out the 2.
Yeah, it's a great lane for the DK. It's even gotten perhaps better than it used to be because of the nerfs onto the puck. And we see there's just so many different forms of initiation, really. And also vision tools. That's something I always do look at also when a team is running, multiple forms of initiation. Vici should have that vision game 1 for the majority of this game. Just Clockwork, the rockets he provides you. Also, they're going to be the ones dictating the pace of taking towers because they have DK. While on the side of VP, they do have to sit back a little bit more and kind of take towers after team fights. Vici's just going to be able to force them just with the innate power of their heroes.
See on this bottom lane, Kingslayer done quite a good job of harassing back PYW and Old 11 here on the first waivers or so. So Nightfall in some good solid space to hit the CS nice and easily.
Even top, Drow. Poyoyo is really struggling up there. Only has the 3 last hits right now, 4 just now from under the tower, but didn't get much in the first 2 waves.
A little bit of missed micro there from Nightfall, letting his courier slip a little too close to PYW. I guess bottom lane, when we see sort of like the level 3s, things could step up a little bit for Vici Gaming. This Clockwork could be quite the nuisance for DM to try and get aggressive onto the Drow around.
This mid lane is rough already. I'm watching Ori. He's just literally, he's got the point of stun at level 3, and he's just literally walking up when range creep gets nuked, stunning him, and then just getting range creep deny almost every time. He actually has 4 denies. I think 3 of those are range creeps.
Nah, he's playing
Look at
perfectly.
This. Yeah, every time there's an orb, he stuns, and now GPK maybe second guessing himself about going just straight for a rune.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get so many denies here.
Yeah. Very well played there by Ori.
We'll have to see if GPK has the same sort of resilience and ability to come back from a bad lane as Ori did in game 1, of course, last time round. Ori, he was the one to be on the struggling end of a hero matchup.
Hero matchup and game matchup was good for Ori, right? Like we did mention that multiple times where there was some limited disables for him. GPK, it's a hard lane into a hard game, it feels like. So that's going to be a bit more of a tall order for him.
That's very true. And this puck was picked relatively later on in the draft. So.
Yeah. You could tell they were just trying to bandage their draft a bit because they just needed something to go in, something to start the fight so that this Dusa can actually get to play her hero, sit in the back lines.
DM at the top, able to suitably contest the CS there of Poyo.
Yeah.
Not getting the freest of times here as the Drow with the hard hits the Shaker. Being able to get those solid denies guaranteed.
Oh, cool. Okay, he is still going to go for the Falcon Blade build-up. I was wondering if Drow was one of those heroes also that is going to go for it, because I haven't gotten to see too much Drow, to be honest with you, at this tournament. I'm actually really glad to be seeing someone taking it out versus a hero like Dusa, since it does have all those big benefits. Bottom. 11 does eat a pretty big snake there. He's going to have a salve, though.
Well, top lane, they're found DM. DY, he's been able to trap him in the cogs. He's attempting to break his way out of it, but they've got the damage. Poyo able to claim first blood up here. I mean, of course, this lane, it does feel like it's not really going to get that much easier for DM now that the levels have kicked in. This clockwork is going to be causing a huge nuisance for him anytime he tries to get anywhere close to the creeps or to the Drow. I
really thought we were going to see every game that Shaker gets picked, just clockwork, because that's always been their response versus it. Inside a lane, inside of the game, you always just kind of own the hero. So we see that displayed right away. Poyo is still struggling a bit on last hit, sure, but getting that kill is massive. And we even do see DY make a quick venture on that move. He actually immediately goes after the kill and wards inside the triangle. So gets a sentry to check out if there's a ward on the high ground, and then also wards to watch when Ancients will start getting done. So they're going to have ways to contest to get on top of the Dusa if they do ever end up going for the stacks. That will not get dewarded, I can guarantee that.
Oh! GPK able to dodge the Dragon Tail stun. Does mean he has to jump under the tower to do so, though, so takes a couple of hits on the way out, and actually going to TP all the way back to base here for the reset. So
look at the net worth already, 600 behind, and he has to go back.
Yeah.
And immediately PYW shows up to mid, starts Little Shredder and Catapult. They want to get this push going. GPK starts pinging it. Think he's going to ask for help. They're going to have to rotate his support to stop this push. Otherwise, he could just lose his tower at a very early portion of the game. Yeah, and they can. If they lose an early tier 1, then access point to jungle toward the Medusa is going to be so easy for Vici.
He's still on his own at the moment, GPK.
He needs someone to come. I see Kingslayer's running over. He didn't have a TP, so he has to make the walk.
Top lane. Making an attempt onto DY. He's got the cogs up in a couple of seconds. Some stick charges too.
Right.
They know it. They're going to stop chasing here. They know they can't catch DY, so a bit of space created for Poyo there with the time that VP spend chasing the clock.
And tower does get, I mean, it's only 550 damage actually on the tower, so a decent job by GPK to just defend it alone. Did see Kingslayer walking over, but he didn't really end up doing much of anything as bottom.
Getting aggressive onto Nightfall. Quick drag back with the shockwave, but not able to get him in position for a skewer back, and now PYW, he's got to head straight out with the TP.
Smart TP. Didn't even use his stick charges either, so he's got that for the next movement. He's got 10 on the Snapfire.
I mean, when GPK hits that 6, has the Dream Coil, is there, you know, what side lane is he looking to make moves in? What sort of impact can he have to sort of recover what's been a bit of a slow start against Ori's DK in the mid lane?
It also depends, because he could make the move on mid. If they do see the DK pop the 4 mid, he could ask for some rotations to the mid lane from the supports. They're going to have to bring everybody. They're going to have to bring the 2 supports and even potentially the Shaker. So it might cost them too much, so maybe he will hit a side lane, but it's not the easiest ones to hit, because Magnus is tanky.
Yeah.
The Clockwork is going to body and scout it out, and speaking of DY, almost finds DUM up top. So it's not the easiest ones, really, it seems like, for GPK to just make a clean rotation to.
No.
Because if he leaves the lane, his tower's dead.
Absolutely. So. Or he's going to start going to work with the Elder Dragonform back up and ready to pop yet again.
And they're even sending rockets behind the tower. DY is already scouting to see if anyone's sitting behind GPK in the mid lane.
I mean, these two again, you know, saving DM. They try and step up for DY, but PYW has made the move over. GPK's in with the counterplay. There was solid Dream Coil onto the 2 of them. He'll jump onto the high ground. He's got the damage to burst through DY. So GPK able to respond, gets the kill on the support. The rest will be able to back away, but something to be found there by VP.
Coil's down though. PYW instantly moving toward mid to secure Rune. And it will spawn bottom, so GPK. Also an illusion rune. He can play around nicely with that to dodge out Dragon Tails as well.
We'll see Ori look to get a quick couple of hits in on the tower.
Keep poking it. 3,900 net worth to 3,100 already at the start. Supports both in the area. And the Medusa now, Nightfall has opted to go for jungle. As, I mean, he kind of needs to also versus Magnus, as Mag now has his Dominator. 11's going to start pressuring tower, and already lane's starting to be a bit broken. VP starting to just farm up the jungle, which It might be a little too early. I mean, leaving the Drow just alone top. Drow having a successful laning phase is always a recipe for success for the hero.
Nightfall still showing his face bottom to try and slow down this push from the two of them. Yeah, old 11, PYW, and again, as we said at the start, all these heroes are rather tanky, very hard for VP to make moves on.
GPK does make his way top, though, and will start pressuring that tower as well. Poyoyo. Civ is trying to set up on him, but Puck is a bit far.
He's super deep. I mean, trying to buy some time, but the Bramble easily dodged. GPK, yeah, he knows he can't get in for a Dream Core setup. Poyoyo, well and truly out of harm's way. We see in the mid lane that tier 1 tower pretty much going down. Bottom lane, that tower will fall. Old 11 takes the tier 1. Yeah, this mid lane just a few hundred HP left in on it. Ori is going to step up to try and get rid of this, and DY is watching from the tree line. It's impossible for VP to defend. They're going to have to let another tower go. So
it's
9 minutes in.
DY. He finds Kingslayer.
Yeah, Kingslayers are walking into this. DY, he should have the damage with the battery assault chase down. Kingslayer put the stick charges, it's not saving him. So 2 tier 1 towers, a kill's been found. Vici Gaming, they are hitting their stride very early this game.
Ooh, already a blink on Ori. They have so many different ways now to get on top of Nightfall. Just built-in ways. They have the blink on the DK, the skewer from the Magnus, the hook shot that's going to be coming up from the Clockwork, and they're going to have Mortimer Kisses that can be launched from the back line. We still don't have 6 on the Silencer either to stop those Mortimer Kisses once they do come online. I think PYW is bringing the Tome in a second here, so they're going to look to hit hard. This blink DK reveal.
That's scary for VP.
They have the damage follow-up. That's the real scary thing for sure. Is DY.
Catch him on his own here, DY. Well, he's got the cogs. And also, Ori by his side. TP out there.
Force the coil.
Is indeed going to force that. It's a kill, but it's a coil. There's the ult down. And this could be a bit more of a window for Vici Gaming to get even more aggressive onto VP, especially when DY is back up in 10. It's also very close to hitting the 6 on the clock.
They're going to go for bottom now. With that blink DK, with the Mortimer Kisses, they have the damage to be able to go through that Medusa. Global, not online. See, VP makes the read. VP's actually making their move top at the same time.
There's the jump. Kisses coming out as well. They're going to have a good amount of damage coming onto Nightfall. Nightfall's going to go straight for the TP out, though. And with the cover of the Global, the quick TP, Nightfall makes it away from the move. Same time, top lane, VP, they're getting it onto Poyo. TP's coming in. Vicious out here to catch the two of them. Old 11 turns, Echo Slam straight into the face of the Drow. They take out Poyo. They'll lose Sacred though. GPK, quick with the jump out. Is he able to get away from this? Old 11's trying to chase, but they don't have any further gap close. So a 1-for-1 there, but VP taking down that Drow, finally able to slow down Poyo a little bit.
Tome had just been delivered to Kingslayer. Right when they made the move, he got the Tome, got the 6, got the Global, able to probably save Nightfall. Did look a little bit scary for him there for a second with that damage, because he didn't have Mana Shield on at the start when they went on him, so. They do get the Drow. So VP do get themselves on the board there. Still a 2K lead for Vici.
It was a good response to
DM.
What VP was trying to get done.
That was a bit scary there for a second. DY almost could have found the angle to get onto DM. DM, about 250 gold from Blink Dagger, so that's pretty fortunate for them. So they'll have multiple ways to initiate. I believe GPK went for a bit more greed, a bit more ways to scale inside of the game. Doesn't want to just be a blink. He's going to actually go for that Witchblade.
Yeah, they need the damage.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, DY. Quick catch here onto the Willow. And no escape out of the cogs. DY, he'll be bounced away. They'll have Ori and PYW to wrap around with finishing damage.
Great cookie.
Let's see what DM can do. Shaker, blink online. No echo for 60 though. Still with the blink, as long as he's able to stay in the nearby neighborhood of Nightfall, we'll be able to help out that Deucer if the jump comes in. Both teams here cleaning up some nice ancient stacks.
Ooh, those are some very nice ones for Nightfall. Much needed ones, as he is a little bit behind that Drow. And it's a scary matchup, that Medusa versus Drow Ranger. I mean, just Drow is going to be able to pierce right through her, and he is buffed up a little bit more, of course, as we always tend to say. The Empower, since you're a high base damage hero, sure, you're not melee, but Empower is just so damn good, and he's got Little Shredder. He will have what I thought was going to actually be a medallion on PYW. PYW switching it up a bit. I guess they are all really just trying to compensate for the Global that's going to come out. The Lotus Orbs just start to become more valuable, but either way, Drow is always going to have a little bit more of that steroid from his teammates.
And how does sort of the Drow Medusa matchup go as the game goes on? Does Drow always just have that range and damage advantage against Medusa?
I mean, of course, you have to factor in everything else of all the rest of the lineups because, like, he has like all these body airs. So I'd give Drow the pretty big favor in the later stages because of that, and because they don't have the same type of reach. DY?
And talking about reach, floats it in with a hook shot.
He pulls him out of the cogs with the shockwave.
He's not going to be able to get the blink off though. Actually using the slam here.
Ooh.
So. Yeah, that's I mean, they need that. That's what, 150 seconds, no slam. A much more punishing time in comparison to the 20 that he's just dead. No echo. That's going to make things a little difficult for VP to do much, really, against Vici Gaming the next minute or so.
Yeah, I'm wondering why he actually just laid it down.
Well, I mean, he thought that he
would think he can blink out, but either way, that's not worth it at this point in the game. Like, the way that Vici's setting the tempo, now you're not going to have echo for such a long time when you respawn. You're putting all the pressure on on the Willow and the Puck, who they can make moves, though. Something we did not talk about, of course, is the coil into the fear combo that will be coming out.
That's tough. Oh, look at this old 11. He's able to get the catch onto the Deuce. Immediate global and Stone Gaze. Fisher out onto the four of them. They're giving the coverage for Nightfall to break away from Vici Gaming. The kisses are coming in though. They're trying to change. GPK. He's jumped in on the backlines. He's in onto Poyo. He's on top of the Drow. The fear. The snapback on the coil. The damage is done. VP, they jump the Drow. Turn over towards Unlimited. Unlimited pulls the RP though. The AoE damage there from PYW. But they've lost the Drow and the Magnus. Vici Gaming have to back off. As VP, they're able to fight around Vici Gaming very well there. Good read from GPK, getting over on top of the Drow. That follow-up as well from the Dark Will. It's just the combo, it is there and can cause issues at this stage of the game.
Whew, right after we say it, too. They do land that combo, as we're going to see it again. And it was actually, so look at the mini-map here. They were making their own move on VP. They scanned, they knew where the Drow was, then Drow TP'd mid, and they're like, wait, this is even better. We can actually connect to where our team is getting gone on and get this perfect grab. And again, global coming into play, perfect.
Yeah, and you know, there was nothing that Vici Gaming could do to bail Poyo out of that sort of move.
And it wasn't RP, kind of wasted. They didn't get that big core kill.
And back in action on the top lane. Look what they found here, DY. He's going to look to hookshot out. He's actually still alive. Fisher's out, but the creeps, they'll take him. The neutrals taking down DY there.
Because of the raindrop. Raindrop blocked the Fisher damage. Neutral gets the last hit.
A little bit of fire though here from VP.
And starting to get
some plays.
Starting to get some big damage stuff too. I actually really like that Save is going for this build. He's going for the Vessel this time around. He has Fairy Trinket. He's going to dish out a ton of damage. Also playing into DK, playing into all these tanky bruisers, makes Vessel even more valuable. Those are loud dragons. Released by Ori. Who is going to be rushing toward that BKB? Since he is playing versus like Global and all this like spell nuke that VP does have, wants to have that coverage. Old 11, looks like he's gonna go for his own Greaves. So like we mentioned, tends to happen when you're playing versus Silencer. Everybody's trying to find some type of dispel.
And they need all they can get to play out against that. We've seen in the last game as well, of course, from Vici that time round, how much the Silencer just breaks the complete combo of the enemy team in this early game. Top lane, DY. He's found DM. Easy catch here in the cogs, and DM, no chance of getting out.
Oof, that's something scary also, though, to point out is you tend to see these Force Staffs always be prioritized a lot more versus Clockwork, but they don't really have the greatest Force Staff carrier. Silencer, Kingslayer is looking to build one. However, that's going to be good to protect himself, but protecting teammates as a Silencer, that means you're showing yourself in a fight, probably. If you're looking to like Force Staff a teammate a lot of times, could be a bit problematic, and that's the only person who can really build it in the early game. So, I mean, DM's game is going to be hard, as we've already stated multiple times, because he is playing versus that Clockwork, but that's just going to continue to make it harder. He probably has to go for his own Force Staff.
I think so, yeah. A lot of ways to catch Kingslayer from a distance if they're aware of his position. Hook shots, kisses, these blinks, of course, coming in. Huge range from the Drought. It's not a very safe battlefield for this Silencer to show his face on. No,
he really has to hide because Global is just so damn important. And DM is starting to get really underfarmed. He's going to get surpassed by the Snapfire at some point soon. Only 700 away. We do see PYW getting a ton of farm on the map. Almost has his Lotus Orb done, actually. He's 600 away from Lotus Orb on Snapfire. So he'll have his way to be able to cover his teammates, cover himself versus that Global. They're scouting behind the tower too, the Rocket. It scouts DM.
Oh!
And he gets the hook shot.
That's a deep hook shot there for DY. Straight back underneath the towers. He's got eyes on DM. They're pushing back DM. He's actually going to use the slam, but they've got the damage. DM will fall. They've lost Kingslayer as Vici Game were able to get in on the back lines. Magnus on the left, on under the tower. Corn there onto the Drow. VP, they're able to hit back. They may have lost 2 underneath the tower, but losing 2 cores in response for that Vici Gaming as VP, they are able to punish that pretty aggressive dive.
Great target prioritization. That GPK just sees Drow. He immediately just blinks, coils him. They have ways to catch up to her.
My GPK is, yeah, his target prioritization the last few fights has been, you know, if he keeps this up, Poyoyo's just not going to be able to play their game in the fights until they sort of get that extra arm online. BKB still quite a while away for the Drow Ranger. Until that's there, GPK is going to be doing this every single time.
Yep. He really does have his number, and we did mention multiple times, right? A little bit of a tough lane, could be a bit of a tough game versus the Silence and versus the instant stun of DK. 2-0-4 on GPK.
Nah, he's
having an excellent game.
He's certainly shown his power on the puck.
And Nightfall also almost has an eye. Scotty finished up on the Dusa very early.
Saving DM, finding DY.
Will he go down?
Probably do. Okay,
yeah, the creep.
The creep.
No, it stopped hitting him.
It's like, nah, I'm good. Well, I'll let VP take the kill instead.
I like how they're both just tipping each other back and forth. 11. It's a lot of damage he's going to take from the curse as well as from that vessel. Over 1,000 even. And as we mentioned, Scotty's already done for Nightfall. Very early timing.
He's looking pretty solid, you know, already about 2k ahead of that of the farm of Poyoyo. As I say, Poyoyo has got to get that BKB, then they've got to look to get things done. If they try for anything again before that BKB is online and Poyoyo gets jumped again, taken out of the team fight once more, VP are going to be able to create quite a big distance between their own Medusa and the enemy Drow.
And it's a really, I actually really like that he went for that. We've been seeing it more, but the early Scotty pickup versus DK and Drow. DK going to be in range for him. He's going to get slowed extra. Drow ever gets hit once, it's got to be strong in GPK.
Very, very quick with the blink there. And with that blink, I think, yeah, Ori's going to be able to get himself in a position where VP can't go for him anymore. They'll try and turn for DY, but DY, he's closed in on Kingslayer. He's caught the silencer. Hasn't got enough damage on his own to push up into Kingslayer, though, with the rest of VP standing by his side. Old Levy's looking for the jump. He is now able to get the hold onto Kingslayer.
Oh, they get DM.
He's got the setup onto DM. Jump forward with the Dragon Tail. DM will turn with the Fisher, but the burn from the kisses and the Dragon finishes him off. As VP, they felt they were in a favourable position there up on the high ground, but Vici Gaming shown that they weren't afraid to make the jump up there. And this time round, Kingslayer just much further forward than the rest of his teammates, a little out of position that time.
Poyoyo still, as you mentioned, waiting for that BKB before he looks to really take on that big head-on fight. Kingslayer's, Nightfall is in an excellent position though. Right now they did use the DK form. They still have RP available, so I'm not sure if VP can force the issue here onto anything, but they are grouping up for something. Rallying around this Medusa is going to be a good idea.
Tower down, and VP ready to go up to the high ground, but Vici Gaming are there waiting. Who's going to make the jump first? There's the DM, he's missed the slam! They get the coil on one, but no slam to follow up here. It's a pretty tanky Magnus. See if they actually are able to finish him off. They are. Fisher's down. Old 11 can't escape. They take out the mag there. Did cost themselves a couple of the big ults, the initiation at least.
That's a pretty clean disengage, if I say so myself, from Vici. They show the DK, but his DK form is ending, so it's an ideal situation for them to show, blink out, only lose one hero. Nightfall.
He's just run up to the high ground on himself. He's feeling pretty strong. I mean, he's pretty dark farmed, and he is getting away with it. Now Poyoyo, he's got his turret up, but they're over the Scotty, so he's caught in the bramble. They're trying to get the Drow out of there with the cookies. Poyoyo goes down. BYW is also going to be chased out. DM jumps forward, slap to the face. That's 4 out on Vici Gaming. And my goodness, Nightfall, well, he knew he could get away with it, just waltzing up to the high ground at the Stusa. Vici Gaming, they try and make a go on him, and it was his farm showing off. You know, he's at the top of the net worth. These items just flying in, Dragonlance, Skadi, SMY. He is massive. And Vici Gaming, if it's not a fully coordinated 5 heroes going on him, they struggle to kill him at this stage.
And they knew there's no DK form. I mean, most of Vici was not available, right? Like, Magnus was still dead, DK form was down. Drow Ranger's BKB was sitting on the courier above him. I don't know what happened, actually. I looked like it wasn't delivering. He had the courier over him, and it wasn't delivering, and then the puck just killed it. I'd have to see it again because I caught it at the last second, but I thought he had it already out onto him, but yeah, I guess the courier just didn't deliver it in time. So 2 minutes, no BKB.
Oh, hello, quick jump. Mori. Here's able to find. Save over here to the side, skewer back. This is a very dead Willow. Mori already looking for more. Was trying to catch the courier, but BKB Dragon form up for him.
Nightfall's just leaps and bounds ahead, though. Not only just in the gold, he's 4 levels ahead of Poyoyo as well.
Level 20 here, just 24 minutes in.
And as we mentioned, a minute left until the courier respawns with Poyoyo's BKB. They're already pinging him out. Like, DM's considering even making a go onto him.
I mean, look at this. Quite the swing around here back into VP's favor. So VP playing this sort of early mid-game very well from behind.
GPK is the biggest one, right? Level 18 on the puck. He's doing so much work. Yeah. 406. 10 of the 12 kills have been because of his movements.
And as you said, you cannot understate how difficult of a puck game this is. But GPK here on the main stage, bringing it out against some of the tougher heroes to play this hero into.
Yeah, he's not into it like a Nyx Assassin plus it all, but yeah, into the Gust and into Clockwork and DK can always be difficult, and he's just been super active. Having to use the coil this time, feeling a little bit scared. He's going to get jumped. His team is also making the move.
Yeah, they want to get Nightfall involved as much as possible right now. They realize that the power that their Medusa has, so keeping Nightfall over this half of the map. I mean, Vici Gaming, you can sort of see it there. They're sort of looking at this Medusa and saying, what do we do? How do we approach fights now into VP when we know that Nightfall's always going to be around by their side?
They were waiting for BKB. It finally respawns off Courier, so now Poyoyo's much safer. He can actually play Dota, because without a BKB in this game, it was like he could literally do nothing. He gets jumped on every time. And they are rallying around that, but VP, as we've been mentioning, rally around Nightfall, who's more than halfway towards a butterfly. He's going to have excellent timing on it. Mid.
Starting action. I mean, this DK's just dying. Or he has to put the BKB, get out. He gets taken down completely there when he gets caught in by the Fisher.
RP.
Forwards a jump. They put the one. Global comes out in return, and only getting Nightfall in the grab back there, Old 11, so there's nothing else to move in and press on with it from Vici Gaming. GPK jumping in behind the tower.
That's a couple times now. DM
and a quick jump out as well. Touches the hook shot. Fisher's out of the two of them. They're coming up the kisses, but with a face shift. GPK's able to avoid it. Nightfall moves into position with the stone gaze. They're trying to get Ori out of here with the cookie Nightfall. He's been stewed up the high ground, but it's almost as if he doesn't care. A little shred of damage coming in, but have they actually got enough to bring down this Medusa? Mana starting full low for Nightfall with GPK's in. Jumps across with the orb. A double kill for GPK. Poyoyo also to fall. They've lost 3. Old 11 on to skewer back to the tier 4s as he runs away. VP, I mean, we're seeing a hidden Nightfall underneath the tier 3. It's almost as if he's defending the wrong base. They can't even get past him back to the safety of their own high ground. Nightfall is just seemingly too huge at this moment.
Just stone gazes and literally runs in. That's another form of initiation. Also awkward from Vici the way they start the fight. Old 11, he thinks he sees a 2-man RP, but again, now we see these like quick little blink daggers. DM dodges it. It ends up being only a single catch. The global to cover. And then, yeah, the skewer into the base actually brings them right on top of Drow Ranger. So see you later, marksmanship.
Absolutely. And Nightfall sort of says, well, thank you. You know, giving Nightfall the high ground there in that situation. Not necessarily the high ground you'd normally expect to want to be in on the enemy's base, but it worked out that time.
And seeing severe damage issues, really. Nightfall just 6,000 ahead. He's about to have a literal full item ahead of that Drow Ranger. And Drow's had to go for more defensive builds, as we've mentioned multiple times. She doesn't have the liberty to be able to go for these type of just straight damage items.
Titan Sliver as well picked up for Nightfall.
Oh boy. Starting to feel real difficult for Vici to do much of anything. Even though they've gotten all these items to counteract the global, their bigger problem is the Dusa.
How do they kill him? 2-0-7, perfectly clean game so far from Nightfall.
GPK 6-0-6 as well. These two cores just absolutely crushing it. While DM is having a little bit of a harder game, these two are absolutely making up for it. And now with good map control here too, they're about to have another BKB finished up on DM. A DD rune spawns top outside the Roche pit.
Here we go.
Save.
Absolutely. Playing around with the 3 of them on his own. They're going with the kiss of the hook shot. They've had enough for save. I mean, they will kill him off with that. See if they actually able to get everyone out. Old 11 will go for the skewer back, trying to take Nightfall away from the rest of his team. 4 heroes focusing this Medusa. They'll use the RP as well, but Nightfall, he's not even taken half HP. He's now ready to move forward with the Stone Gaze. They will be able to disarm him here for now, so Nightfall now chooses to back off. The jump in onto Kingslayer. Kingslayer, by the looks of it, will be left behind by the rest of the squad as VP will continue to retreat with the 3 of them. But we're seeing there have been multiple ultimates just thrown out onto Nightfall, caught rather far away from the rest of his team. It just doesn't matter.
If he didn't have Butterfly there, it actually is likely that he dies. But with that evasion, you see the Drow Ranger does little to nothing as Poyoyo, they know where he is. GPK is already on top of him.
Already starting the action here with the Dream Coil. BKB is still on cooldown for 30 seconds for Poyoyo. He's going to try and turn and hold his ground, but DM just walks up. Echo Slam right on top of the face of the Drow Ranger. BKB's popped by Ori. He'll look for the TP out, nothing to put a stop to it through that magic immunity. So Ori manages to escape. But Poyoyo is going to continue to struggle to catch up to Nightfall right now. About 7k difference here with Nightfall hitting the 20k net worth just 29 minutes in.
It's feeling pretty much impossible. And look at this, an instant move again. VP, they see Old 11 farming top for a second, hunting him. Will he be able to get away?
Oh, the fishing just a little short there. Not quite having the reach, DM.
Poyoyo's game is it's just too hard. Even though he had to rush for the BKB, just too many deaths that he had. He's 6 deaths. When you're playing versus a Medusa who has literal free farm, no deaths whatsoever, and just full map control. Not the position Vici wants to be by any means.
I mean, they're even got some DY here behind the tower. Vici Gaming really falling apart now as they can barely keep one another alive here. They make any sort of split play on the map. VP make the jump instantly, up 8k.
And now
okay, the catch GPK. He's still got mana for an orb though.
Should be fine. And he's got Aghanims now too. So Poyoyo's 20-something minutes it took him to farm that BKB is now totally counteracted as if they just coil her. Nightfall can just Stone Gaze, run all the way up into her face. And the game is starting to look pretty impossible for this Drow Ranger to have that distance. Even though they drafted it, it's been unable to actually perform because of how well, in particular, GPK has been able to perform.
I think he's ruined the whole idea that they wanted with this Drow pick. And I don't think they expected him to be able to do so in the way that he does.
Yep.
This is just top GPK puck play.
And great coverage. Kingslayer's global is on point. Perhaps, we did see in the first series of the day, Magnus was the hero of the series. Silencer now both games looking real hot.
Just on Nightfall as well now.
Oop, Ori.
Gonna try for the TP out, but they've got ways to stop it. Ori's escape shut down.
He doesn't even bother popping BKB or anything like that, since that is an Axe Coil. Knows he's going to die either way.
Immediately moving up towards the outpost to try and play from the opposite side here. Vici Gaming heading straight back to the base. Fisher will catch TY. Oh, Old 11. He's found the 3 of them. The global's there, but he's never removed the silence. Screw back up to the high ground, but DM pulls the BKB, the Echo as well. They take down DY. Old 11's going to try and run from Nightfall, but the slows there for the Skadi. They'll get the kill. Diving up to the tier 4 fortification pop. Poyoyo and PYW desperately trying to get back. They'll look to turn over towards GPK's puck, but the fear from save pushes them back. And Ori, he comes back into action with the buyback, but he's not able to get the catch onto anybody. As VP, they're back outside of the base, only losing DM in that dive that they're forced to make thanks to the skewer of Old 11.
Oh, the double buyback's real hurt. And just no damage. That's like 8,000 gold behind this Medusa. Even with Aegis online, they just can't even hurt her.
Pretty much a full Daedalus.
Yep.
Out for the next fight. We'll see this again here. I mean,
it was a good RP. It was Greaves to remove that global and to get the skewer into, but at this point, when they're so far behind, they just don't have the damage coming out from Poyoyo.
Absolutely, and DM just immediately BKB getting the 2-man Echo off, blows up DY. Old 11 having to run, and they have to get us away from Nightfall as quickly as they can at this point. Nightfall hitting the level 25. Just continue to hit insane timings upon timings on this hero this game.
Yep, and insane item timings as well too for GPK, right? Like in that situation, imagine he doesn't have one of these, like he doesn't have Ghost Scepter. Perhaps he does die to that Gus and all that combo, but he's just so damn farmed on this puck with the Kaya Sanj as well. Also now an E-Blade, so he can cover his teammates, cover himself, more burst damage. Pretty insane how farmed GPK really is this game.
Yeah, this is wild. 8-0-9.
And it's just, what's the bailout going to be really for Vici, as they're just falling further behind, and Poyoyo, he's just nowhere near an MKB, nowhere near a big damage item for him to actually deal with this Medusa.
And of course, game one very much got to a situation rather early where it felt like there was very little VP could do to make a comeback. This game, do you feel Vici Gaming is in just as difficult of a position, or was it my fault? I mean, he's on his own, but they're just having a run.
I feel like this is a much harder position, to be honest,
you think
Vici.
This is even more difficult to come back in?
This Medusa is just... Now it's literally almost 3 items ahead of a Drow Ranger. There's just not really too many methods of recovery. It's level 20 on Drow, to level 25 on Dusa. Puck also level 25. They're just getting so much. And Vici's all kind of trapped in their base, so that lead is just going to continue to grow. And they can barely even get outside now at this point.
Yeah, they've just got to hold the high ground and hope for the best here, Vici Gaming.
Yep, he's got the level 20 talent on the Magnus, so that's kind of what they have to play around now, is just skewer range, just pulling them under tier 4s. Even then, though, very difficult. And yeah, VP, just chilling out, farming all the lanes.
Let's see what they want to do next here. VP. They very much can pick and choose the next move they make. Visibly under very little pressure right now.
Showing in all 3 lanes. That's when you have. That's when you're super confident that they can't make any move to punish you.
Vici Gaming just having to play the waiting game. At least for that Aegis. 20 seconds, it will be gone on Nightfall. Maybe then they can look to try and get out, or at the least be a little bit more willing to throw themselves into some sort of action outside of the high ground.
They're going to have to just somehow try to isolate this Medusa, though. That's the one problem I do see for them, is they have to kill everybody else on VP, and then they have to try to kill the Medusa. Because if they just take a head-on fight by any means, the Medusa's unkillable. She's going to clean up everybody super easy. So somehow they have to find and get, like, just multiple skewers, really. It's like all eyes on Old 11. If you can get a skewer, then another one, just keep repositioning and taking out heroes so they have a number advantage. It's super hard for Vici to do much of anything. He's going to fish. He'll get one.
That's the jab.
That's a pretty good one.
At least we'll save down for a minute here. Vici Gaming can be pretty confident that VP won't make a play for this window. The question is if they want to try and get out and do something whilst it's 5 versus 4. Still won't be easy by any means, but might be something to work with.
They have to find someone that's not the Medusa. And probably not GPK too, because he is also quite immortal. 34 armor on the Puck.
I mean, you see DY trying to get round to the back line, see if he can get the line onto the silencer, onto Kingslayer.
Something pretty cool too is with GPK, he's been hanging on to Blaster majority of this game, and the reasoning is because it's that plus armor versus the marksmanship, so he's just that much tankier. Like I was mentioning, he was super tanky. Now, sure, as soon as I said, he does find the Spell Prism, which is like the most fortunate item for a Puck, but you can see the reasoning of why he was carrying it for so long in the game.
Well, the moment has passed, and nothing to be done, even with one hero off the map.
No, they can't. Not on the side of Vici yet.
I mean, VP immediately looking to group up and maybe try and even get the jump from the low ground. With the way that GPK has been playing, if he catches anybody up there, he will quickly get himself in and out of the base of Vici Gaming to start the fight off.
Lane's pushing in. GPK ports bottom. Anyway, just a push. And they are still smoked, especially on the 2 backline heroes, the Earthshaker and the Silencer, who had a rough game in the early game versus this Clockwork, but ever since the early game, it's just been easy pickings for them. DY unable to really find the opportunities when VP all started grouping up. VP really, yeah, look at that confidence, like just really starting to get the taunts going as they should. Win probability at 90%.
They did certainly struggle in game 1, so having this sort of a game 2 performance is going to be huge for VP.
GPK breaks the smoke, backs away, and I believe they prevented them from getting any of their tier 4 items too. They haven't been able to find a single neutral on the side of Vici in the last couple minutes.
DUI, he's not going to want to go. They're a little too far out. I mean, they try and make the move, but nobody to be caught. They immediately back off, straight back to the base and look to reset.
So I'm getting some small gains there for Poyoyo, almost up to his next item. But still not quite enough, as he is still going to struggle versus that Medusa.
With the BKB on Nightfall, it's pretty much at the point where he can stand tall on the high ground, take these objectives with very little, if anything, being able to be done by Vici's heroes against him. Certainly has geared up to this point to becoming pretty much invincible.
I'm surprised they haven't just gone into the Roche pit again.
Radiant are scanning.
Starting to ping it out, maybe looking to fix out the bottom lane before they do head into that pit, but I believe they're going to look to at least go in there quite soon, because it does feel pretty impossible for Vici to get over toward that Roche. If they take a fight around the Roche pit, it's disaster for them, because that's very likely where VP still has all the information, all the vision, and then that's where Nightfall can just actually start to hit heroes, which is, I think, what he really wants to do at this point. 545 lasts on this Medusa. I think he's done farming. I think he really wants to start killing.
I mean, there's only so much more that he can really pick up at this stage. He is and an incredible peak of power here we see on the CS, 550 CS in this 14-minute game.
Level 27 as well, so on top of Butterfly, has the evasion talent too, so again, even more so mentioning how much this Drow is going to struggle.
They will head into the pit now. Right, Vici Gaming are not going to be able to make any move over here. They're still going to have to play the waiting game. Stepping out towards Roshan is not an option.
Wait till what though, right? Because they are, like we said, Butterfly is done for Poyoyo, DK's finished his Aghanim Scepter, so they're starting to get all these items, but how are they going to kill Medusa?
They've got 3 of them heading over, not the full squad. Maybe seeing if they could go for some sort of Aegis steal, but as it is, VP themselves have backed out of the pit. They don't want to even give that little bit of an opportunity for maybe DY to make some smart play with a hook shot. So they don't push on for the Roche.
I feel like they're being just a little bit too hesitant.
You think they can just go get this?
I think they can just go in there. This Medusa is enormous. They have global for coverage too. I guess they are fearful of the steal,
they just
like
don't
you were
want
mentioning.
The steal, yeah.
But
yep. I mean, that must be it.
They know where he is now. Yeah. That rocket gave away his positioning. He's going to see the sentry too. Now they're 100% aware. They see DY.
I mean, he's doing his best to get an angle to try and get in on this. They will push him away. He tries to TP out, but the fish is there. As he's gone, VP playing it as safe as they possibly could there, really. At the same time, down on the bottom, PYW also taken out. I mean, VP, they're just really leaving nothing up to chance here. They're keeping all of their exits covered in this game.
That is very true. They will find PYW, who's been split pushing most of the game. And speaking of PYW, I mean, 8-3 and 4. He's been I think, quietly sliding along with some excellent score for his team, but you just feel that gloom just continuing to come. There's just no solution for the Medusa. They're going to try.
It's going to be a deep skewer, but do they have anywhere near the damage to take this man down the once, let alone the twice? And it doesn't look like it. Nightfall, still in fighting shape. Took a little bit of a bruising, but still feeling confident. We'll see another round. It's going to be pretty deep here where he loses the Aegis, though. This is behind tier 4. They've found the Drow. BKB comes out, Poyoyo over the Hurricane Pipe back to safety. RP's down. They've caught Nightfall. Have they got the damage? Hook shot over. He gets the BKB off. Now he's going to look to try and repulse the Stone Gaze. Poyoyo, he's out of the game. No buyback on the Drow. Nightfall still good to go. DY looking to get away. The kisses from PYW coming out from the base. Dragon Tail stun in. Nightfall, he's still able to move away. BKB's popped by the Dragon Knight as Ori trying to kill off this Medusa, but they just cannot. Nightfall still alive. GPK ready to jump back in. Diving past the Ancient. Kills off Old 11. 3 dead. No buyback. Ori stopped outside of his base. The E-Blade Blast comes in. GPK styling on them outside of the fountain.
GPK. What a game by him. 11-0-10. Drow Ranger Poyoyo thinks he got away. Puck comes in with the E-Blade with the Dagon, easily able to clean him up at the end there. almost bringing down the Medusa the second time. But
I mean, yeah, it really is just one of those games to be able to pull out this sort of a performance on the main stage. GPK, no nerves whatsoever.
He's mad after that
just look at the
game.
net worth. I mean, Nightfall has been having the most insane game when it comes to farming, but GPK, because of these plays and these kills, he's nearly as farmed as his Medusa.
He is about to have nothing else he can purchase except for Moonshard. He has the bot. I mean, bots too, fine. But he's got a Dagon 5 once he spends his gold. He's got everything. That is ridiculous.
I mean, enjoy it now, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think GPK is going to get a player's puck again here.
No, especially not in
teams aren't letting this through.
Especially now when they have all these heroes that are just like, I mean, that they would have liked versus, especially that DK, just unable to find any grabs on him. Yeah, it's been the GPK show, really. And Vici, it really feels like they've been trapped inside their base now for what feels like 10, 15 minutes. VP. I feel like VP is doing the Vici to Vici right now.
Sure.
Right? Because this is what Vici does to teams where they're like, oh, we're going to get ahead. We're going to stay ahead. We're going to suffocate you. We're going to make you feel miserable inside your base. And look at, I mean, it's Vici this time around stuck in their base, probably feeling quite miserable for the last 10 to 15 minutes.
This is what you want to do, you know, game 2 and getting the equalizer. You know, there's going to be one more game to the series if you can close this up, and you want to make sure that you've been able to push your enemy into a pretty rough mental state before that final game. And this sort of drawn-out, slow win is definitely not going to be fun to be on the receiving end of.
Bottom. Easy kill.
No buyback, of course, still for Ori. Still on that long cooldown after the last fight. But now with it being 4 versus 5, this could be VP finally having mercy and look to put an end to this. Odd 11 is a deep skewer. Instantly out with the ultimate though. GPK ready to jump in. He's looking towards Poyo on the backlines. They've killed off Old 11. They're in on top of the Drow. Leashed up as well by the Dream Coil. Poyo tries to stun, hook shot back in over towards the end. They take out DM, but GPK's in, pushes back Poyo.
What a monster. He's just standing his ground, high-fiving Poyoyo while Dagon-5ing him, while E-blading him. 40k gold lead. Looking to close this one out finally. GG is
They call it, ladies and gentlemen. There we have it. VP taking game 2 here against Vici Gaming. And my goodness, what a game by them. What a game.